action. This holiday season has really put me in a sour mood. I see people all around me in a frenzy to buy as much stuff as they possibly can. An estimated $40 billion was spent on gifts this last Black Friday weekend. Brawls broke out across America over flat-screen TVs and kitchenware. There was even a shooting outside of Kohl's. What does this say about our nation's value system? Why the urgent need for all this stuff? Much of it seems mindless. This is simply what you do now. I worry as I think over my goals as an educator. I believe education should help create a feeling of being complete as a person, an individual who's part of the whole, a human with a human spirit. How can I expect to achieve this in my classroom when outside humans don't even seem human anymore? The spirit of giving has been blasphemed and transformed into an expectation to buy and receive costly merchandise. How can I show my students the value of education when it doesn't have a price tag on it? If I want to encourage critical thinking, perhaps this is a place to start. If I want to have a classroom full of problem solvers, well, here's a problem. I have some faith that when asked, what's the deal here? Even consumer junkie teenagers will be moved to consider the issue. The trouble is that we're not being asked to think about it. This is a problem we see every day, not just during the season of joy. So how do I approach the issue? How do I ask my students to think critically about the world without pushing them away or turning them off? My answer, one day at a time. As an English teacher, I intend to teach literature that can generate critical thinking, social, and self-awareness. But putting a book in front of them is not enough. Let's face it, most of the people who are involved in the current mall mania have read The Gift of the Magi at least once in their lives. So I plan on spending the majority of class time having students participate in group activities that spark critical thinking and raise awareness. These activities will focus on themes that are present in the literature they are reading, but instead of spending our valuable time together with our noses in the book, we can engage in discussion, watch videos, present information, and play games that will ask students to read between the lines of the text and beyond the lines of the text in order to see the big picture and how many of the problems and issues these authors were writing about are still applicable today. For example, I plan on teaching a unit over The Great Gatsby that explores the idea of the American dream. During this unit, I will ask my students to make a presentation and write an essay on the American dream. As they prepare their work to turn in, we will spend almost 2 full weeks in class exploring this issue. We will discuss what led to the formation of this ethos and watch videos in which people attempt to define the American dream in today's world. Students will also be asked to fill out a survey that asks their opinion on issues surrounding this idea. At the completion of this unit, they will be able to clearly see and analyze the big ideas that Fitzgerald wrote about in his great American novel, and they will be able to identify the big ideas in other contexts as well. I think it is also important to include contemporary young adult fiction into the curriculum, so that students may see these issues are being dealt with in literature today. And I by no means intend to limit my approach to a look at just American culture. Students need to have global awareness as well. Books like Shanda's Wars, Illegal, and No Ordinary Day would be helpful texts to include. So what can I do now? What am I doing now since I am not yet in the classroom? I am gathering as much information and as many resources as possible. I have begun to write lesson plans that I can modify once I'm in the classroom. I am developing an educational philosophy that I feel will provide me with a solid foundation to stand on. As an academic advisor at a junior college, I am paying close attention to students' concerns and interests. Anything I can do to better prepare myself for the start of my career as an educator, I embrace. This includes any suggestions that my more experienced classmates may have. Please, bring them. I have gained so much this semester by paying close attention to what others have had to say. I am not under the impression that I can single-handedly make a change, but together with my colleagues, perhaps this will someday cease to be an issue of concern.